All right. Casey promised me that he would surprise me with the opens this week. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. So far, so good. Hey, happy National Cheese Fry Day. All you beautiful radio listeners, thank you for dropping in on our little happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. I think I did that right. Who knows? YouTubers, feel free to hit us up on the chat. If you're listening on the radio, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, on 105.1thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app. Or if you just ask your smart speaker to find you a free t-shirt, use the fan text line, 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Use it, use the chat, use the text, share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners. Is there anywhere you can get a free t-shirt for eating like a giant burrito or something? Only one I can find is in Lebanon, Oregon. There are suggestions of something called the Titan Burrito Challenge, but I can't confirm it on Alex Eats' website. But there are a couple people saying they're trying to eat a 3-pound burrito. That sounds... It's between 2.5 and 5 pounds, according to the internet. And apparently you get a free t-shirt. But I was trying to find the places in Oregon where if somebody really needs one, I feel like you have to earn a free t-shirt, right? They're not just given away. Go out and you get it.
Well, I've got 3 restaurants for you that if you do complete the challenge, you do get a t-shirt.
Perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. I went down the burrito rabbit hole because I got very excited. Casey, tell the people where they can get a free t-shirt if they're very upset that they're not going to get it by spending $140 on a ticket to a basketball game. By the way, if you spend $140 on a ticket to a basketball game, is the t-shirt free? Probably not.
Adam's Rib Smokehouse in Salem. If
Okay.
you finish the Goliath Burger Challenge, it's a 2-pound burger and 1 pound of fries. Within 1 hour, you get a t-shirt.
My stomach hurts thinking about that, but I do like a good hamburger. Okay.
Sailor's Old Country Kitchen. If
Ooh.
you finish a 72-ounce steak with all the trimmings, salad, bread, potato, and dessert in 1 hour, you get a commemorative t-shirt and your meal is free.
Yeah, now that's the one. Sailors, I should have thought of that. The old 72-ounce Blue Ox steak, like the Great Outdoors. And who else?
The Stubborn Mule in Medford. Conquer the soon-to-be famous challenge. It includes 8 burger patties, ham, bacon, and a pound of fries. You get a t-shirt and a $45 meal for free.
Well, there you go. See, now Medford, not exactly in Portland, Oregon. Salem's pushing it a little bit, but Sailor's Old Country Kitchen. So if you're upset that you're not getting your free t-shirt, go out and earn yourself one. Eat a 72-ounce steak, you lazy bum.
With all the trimmings.
Is that too aggressive? Yeah, with all the fixes. The question that I honestly have is, anybody tried that? I'm sure that I know somebody that has. I've never been to Sailor's, but I've got friends that have often praised the establishment as the place you need to go.
72 ounces, that's a lot of steak.
That's an insane amount of steak. Like an 8-ounce filet sounds about right to me. 72 ounces seems like punishment.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
If you watch the movie The Great Outdoors, you're a young man.
I actually haven't seen it. It's one of those where I get recommended it, and I'm like, I'll get to it.
But you won't.
I do love me some John Candy, though.
Okay. If you love John Candy, but him trying to, I think it's the old 96er that he's trying to take down. But the scene where he is quivering as he's attempting to finish, I think it's everybody's meal is free, and it's a whole thing.
The old 96er, a 6-pound prime-aged beef steak to win a free meal.
And I think he needs to do it to get the whole family's meal paid for. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but the bald-headed bear and the old 96er are the two things. Well, that and Yakety Yak. Those are the 3 things that I can somewhat confidently recall. That and the interpretation of the raccoon's conversation. See, now I'm just thinking about this movie. So maybe you and I will both have to watch it as an assignment. We can discuss it. We can take an entire bonus hour when we have one. Speaking of which, we have one tomorrow. So we're going to get to a ton of draft stuff tomorrow. You said you're 9 teams into your official full NFL mock draft. Is that correct, Casey?
11 teams.
11 teams?
We are 11 teams deep.
And you're not doing it in draft order. You're doing it by team. How deep are you going on this thing?
Right now, I'm going every round. I'm going every pick.
Whoo, baby. And
working on the Chiefs picks right now, so got the game tape open.
And
right
how do
now.
we score this thing?
If we get one right, we give
One
myself
right.
a point. And
Okay.
if I get one wrong, I think it should be minus like half a point or minus 0.25 or something
Okay,
like
well,
that.
I think I've got a better idea how we do this. Let's compare it to the pros. Let's pick like a handful of people that we can compare it to, because you're using some of the existing mock drafts out there as guides, or
A few of them, yeah.
Okay, so we'll take the ones that you've used, because you're going to obviously have deviations from that. So we'll need to figure out a way to grade this for you, see how you do on the test. But you have to grade on a curve. We can't just create some arbitrary metric to put you up against and not put anybody else up against it.
I got to be held to at least a lesser standard. I can't be held to the same standard as Mel Kiper. It's crazy.
You're using his mock draft to make yours.
Actually, we don't touch Kipers.
Oh, we don't. Have you glanced at it?
Oh, I've looked at it.
So yeah, so it's in your consciousness, whether you're using it as the baseline or not. You're aware of it.
I guess I'm using it against the baseline.
Okay, but you're looking at Mel and you're going, I don't know, Mel. I don't know. You're questioning Mel Kiper Jr. Therefore, let's put you up against him and the Todd McShays and the whole thing. So we've got a bonus hour. It'll be a lot of draft tomorrow, a lot of preview for that. But today, we got to recap everything that happened from the weekend. We had some pretty interesting baseball action going on. There's a possibility that the Dodgers lose a 4-game series to the Colorado Rockies based on what happens today. That, to me, is a little bit fascinating. It felt like the Dodgers were just going to run away with things. The Mets are continuing. They're not playing baseball very well. There is a lot going on. And if you have not played Take Your Pick yet, here's what we're doing this season is we're picking weekend series. I think it's already wrapped up. I was feeling excited about this weekend because we have 2 series, I believe, that still have to culminate today. The Dodgers-Rockies, and there's one other one. But I think it's already decided. Oh, it's the Tigers. Who are the Tigers playing? Everybody has the Tigers. I can't remember who they've got, but there is...
They just lost to the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, that was
6-8 earlier today.
There you go. Well, everybody in contention, possibly meeting the leader in the clubhouse. Everybody had the Tigers in that. So nobody can catch Odyssey's own John Ludwig. He is going to end up
Johnny
being
Lose.
he played the football season all the way through. I don't think we ever had him on. So he will be invited. He's not in today. I will invite him tomorrow to join us on Thursday. So we will finally have our first baseball, I'm going to use air quotes here, expert to join us and tell us what his secret to success is. We'll do that on Thursday. We'll get the pick 'em out early for you this week so you can all play along. One other bit of news. If you're not aware, on June 23rd, Toyota presents the Fan Golf Classic at Langdon Farms Golf Club. Foursomes are on sale now. Here's an update. There's only a few left in the afternoon. So if you want to play, you better get out there. You can play in the morning, you can play in the afternoon, but get your group signed up quick. There are only a few left in the afternoon. It's a most fun day of golf with activations and tastings around the course. And of course, the infamous Angels Envy Bourbon Par 3 6th, where all the guys from the Fan will be there. Darren Sprague, Danny and Patrick, myself, Isaac and Souk will all be posted up, heckling and admiring your shots. Head to 1051thefan.com and click on the Fan Golf Classic logo for information and sign up today. Of course, the Fan Golf Classic is presented by Toyota. It's also brought to you by Vulcan Design and Construction, Henderson and Daughters Windows and Doors, George McCoy at Warren Allen Attorneys at Law, Battery Exchange, Mastro Dobel Tequila, Your Neighborhood Restaurant Group, Philbrook Law, 1-800-DIVORCE, Roto-Rooter, A Legal Mezcal, and Window Nation. It's all very, very exciting. What was your impression of the start of the NBA playoffs, young lowercase? How did you feel about it? We had one road victory, and that was the Orlando Magic, the team that was written off after they were absolutely dismantled in their debut in the play-in, but then they turned around and now look like a team that may be the only upset in this first round.
Who'd they beat to get in?
They lost initially to, who did they lose to? They got beat
the
up.
76ers.
They got whooped up by the 76ers, and then they beat your Hornets.
I hate the Orlando Magic.
Of course you do. Their uniforms look terrible. They've got the little Disney patch on there as if, like we didn't make the connection between Orlando Magic and the Disneyland Resort. So they're paying a bunch of money to do that. They got Banchero and Wagner, who between them don't have a personality. Jalen Suggs doesn't add anything to that. He's got the hairline of a 70-year-old. He's out there playing at 25 years old. There's nothing redeemable about the Orlando Magic except they kind of play tough as nails. And if you like that and you don't need flash and you just want somebody to go and punch you in the mouth, which is kind of what Detroit does, I don't know. I found it entertaining. You just hate them because they beat your Hornets.
I'm a salty sea dog
That's
over
fine.
here.
The long con didn't show up in the postseason or the play-in. So I guess it's postseason. It's not the playoffs. But, he wasn't very good. Your guy is going to win Rookie of the Year over Cooper Flagg. He'll have that. In a couple years, him and his family will be able to put together an entire roster of just Knipple brothers, and it's going to be great. We're all in for that. That's your only road victory. What else did you take away from this weekend?
That Wembanyama guy is really good at basketball.
He is. You know who else is pretty good at basketball?
LeBron James.
LeBron James, still pretty good at basketball. What was the deal with Durant? I never got a good answer, probably because I didn't look for it. But I didn't know that he wasn't playing until he wasn't playing.
I think I heard it while I was doing the Timbers game this weekend, but I think it was something that happened in practice where just knee on knee and...
So do we know if we're going to see KD in Game 2? Is that tonight?
Yeah, suffered a knee contusion during practice last week, but we don't know yet.
All right, so that's okay. So me not knowing is not surprising because you don't know either. We'll have to look up more of it. But that one kind of shocked me. Everybody except for I think one of the experts at least on ESPN picked the Rockets to win that series. Lakers get their first victory, and who knows what the timeline is for Luka. It sounded like he was efforting to be back, but the Lakers winning without Austin Reeves, without Luka Doncic, with LeBron looking like vintage LeBron going out there, and some of the shot making, you forget how good that dude really is. I know that there's been suggestions that he might be ready for retirement, but dude, I'm ready to watch that guy keep going. Keep going, man.
I think the retirement stuff is, LeBron, are you tired with the NBA at this point?
Yeah, I think
because
that might
you
be
can
it.
play basketball wherever and we're going to watch.
Yeah, whatever the equivalent of the golf league is, and he puts together some 3-on-3 tournament and takes out, isn't there already an Ice
Just
Cube?
goes plays in the Big Three with Ice Cube.
Yep. Who knows what we get from? Yes, Victor Wembanyama, very good at basketball. There's a couple times, though, where I just think people are still trying to figure it out. This is the first time that you're going to get him in an actual series. The Blazers tried a couple different things during that game. They had almost everybody guarding him at some point. It was a very nice debut. I didn't think he was the most unstoppable force. The broadcast sure was trying to sell you a lot of Victor Wembanyama pretty hard, but I didn't think it was one of those games where it was like, oh, this dude is unstoppable. He was 5 for 6 from 3. That was probably the most impressive thing. My favorite play of the game. And I am genuinely upset with myself for kind of wishing that he didn't get up as well as he did. But when Drew Holiday pulled the chair out from underneath him and he did that little walk back, fall down off of his stilts onto the ground and crashed.
The little spin move where Drew beat him to the spot.
No, where he tried to back into him. Remember when he does it's kind of maybe late in the third, early in the fourth, where he just kind of tips over backwards because he expects there to be weight.
Oh, so yeah, that one was, what I saw from it was Wemby trying to make a spin move and Drew Holiday obviously going, whoop, I see the spin move. Yeah. I'm just going to beat you to the spot. Beats him to the spot, draws the blocking foul.
No, not the blocking foul, where he just fell over. Drew's underneath him, and he leans back like he's gonna put some weight on him, and Drew just moves, and then he just dip, 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 and falls down.
That must have happened multiple times.
I don't know. Is that the one you're talking about?
I think so.
Okay.
But
well, whatever. The guy is very good at basketball. Blazers have at least 4 cracks at this to try to figure out if there's a way to do it. You know what the best way to beat it might be? And I know that Patrick Harris probably said this on the firm. They're just letting the Blazers shoot threes because they're terrible. They shot 26%. They make a handful more threes. The game's at least close at the end. I don't think you got everything that Wemby has to offer, and I don't think you have everything the Blazers had to offer. The game wasn't close at the end. It was close in the middle of the third quarter, but that kind of changes the game plan down the stretch, doesn't it, when you get it within 1 and then give up like 2 different runs where they outscore you by 10. It wasn't that close. Will there be a close game in the series? I don't know. I sure hope so, because I think the Blazers have a lot more to go with if they can get into one of those big moments, and we know that Denny Advia is pretty good as well. If we're talking about debuts, playoff debuts, I know that there was a lot about Wemby. Denny Advia, 30 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, pretty good. It's not bad.
Pretty good.
You know who else? You know who else had that line or those numbers when in their first debut? There's 2 other guys that did it.
Wemby?
No, he didn't have 10 rebounds. He only had like 4 rebounds in the game, and he's 7'4". In any playoff debut, the only other guys with at least 30, 10, and 5, LeBron James, Julius Erving.
What did Tim Duncan have in his debut?
He had 32 points, but he didn't have the rebounds and
I
assists
knew he
numbers.
had the 32 points. But.
Well, did you? How'd you know that? Speaking of which, let's do some in case you missed it. In case you missed it, Shohei Ohtani heads into San Francisco tomorrow night on a 51-game on-base streak, the 3rd longest in Dodgers history. But the real story is the rivalry itself. The Dodgers and Giants are tied perfectly in their all-time series at 1,288 wins each. It's historic. There's been exactly 1,288 wins on both sides, and both teams have reported exactly 1,288 fan stabbings at their games. It's a perfectly balanced rivalry. That's one of the scarier games I'd ever been to. I went to Chavez Ravine wearing a black Dodgers hat. Why I had a black Dodgers hat, don't ask. I know I had a Dodgers hat because it has LA on it for Luke Anderson. But I bought a black one and decided to wear it out there, and somebody thought I was a Giants fan. He was acting like he wanted to murder me until I pointed out the logo on the front of the hat is your team, you dummy. In case you missed it, after an 11-game losing streak, the Mets' playoff odds plummeted from nearly 80% down to 41%. It's the longest skid since 2004. So if you had trouble sleeping this weekend because you kept hearing a faint, distant sucking sound, don't worry, you're not crazy. It's just the New York Mets. It's all. Did you hear that? Did you, like, if you were very quiet and just very faint off in the distance?
What is Steve Cohen doing up there?
Yeah, well, it's the entire team. It's a team effort. In case you missed it, the Warriors play-in tournament after the players. Oh boy, let's try that again. After the Warriors play-in tournament elimination, Draymond Green boldly opined that head coach Steve Kerr will not likely return next season. Kerr signed a 2-year, $35 million extension in February of 2024. That has now elapsed. Here's a quote. Maybe that's the problem. All that money, all those expectations. If Kerr really loves coaching, maybe he should be doing it for free. That from Tom Dundon. No?
From Tom Dundon.
Yeah, a little recruiting. No? You don't like that? In case you missed it, Victor Wembanyama scored 35 points, most in a Spurs playoff debut ever, and this was a Game 1 win carrying San Antonio to a 111-98 victory over Portland. It's a pretty great record, especially considering it beat out legend Tim Duncan. Strange they didn't mention it on the broadcast. I mean, it's funny. It feels like it's something they should have mentioned 30 to 75 times during the broadcast.
Was David Robinson in the building?
Who knows? Is it funny that David Robinson looked about 20 years younger than Tim Duncan? That was pretty amazing. Tim Duncan, man, he looks like he should be just some sort of guru somewhere where people go to him. He shouldn't go anywhere. It should just be people migrating to him. He looked great.
The stress is getting to him.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you. Somebody feels like they're celebrating 420 today, and it might be named Tim Duncan. In case you missed it, Trailblazers president Dwayne Hankins officially confirmed there will be no special playoff T-shirts for fans at Moda Center this week, leading to a brutal backlash on social media. Games 3 and 4 were scheduled to take place in Portland at Moda Center on April 24th and 26th. There are no current updates on where Game 3 will actually be played after disgruntled fans burnt Moda Center to the ground. So... ugly scene over there at the Rose Quarter. We'll let you know when we get updates. And finally, in case you missed it, Yankees pitcher Cam Schlittler says he's fully embracing his start at Fenway this week despite getting death threats from Red Sox fans since he knocked them out of the playoffs last year. Schlittler grew up in Massachusetts as a Red Sox fan. He says you don't really have to worry about threats from fans in New England. He knows them well enough. Now, if the threats start coming from New England tight ends, that's a different story. That's when you really have to start worrying. Dude, is there anything better than a Red Sox fan being the Red Sox nemesis and playing for the Yankees? That has to be just the best.
Now I gotta find a new update.
Oh, what? Did you already do a Aaron Hernandez joke for the update? Is that what that was?
No, but I can't touch that because that was golden.
All right, I appreciate that. Hey, let's get you some updates. Tell you what happened with the Seattle Mariners over the weekend. We'll take a look at some moves that happened in the NFL, a new record in the Boston Marathon, and what happens when a truck with 1 million bees crashes on the highway. That's all part of the Daily Buzz. We do it next on Happy Hour. It's 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan.
All right, kids, let's dive into some Seattle Mariners real quick. They get a 5-2 series a victory to get the series win over the Rangers after being swept when they played the team down in Arlington. Led by Brian Wu, who had 7 very nice innings, but was still pissed off at himself for getting up 2 runs late. He said it was bad enough to give up a walk, but stupid to be in a batter as they were going into the 7th inning. I love that your guy who has now tied the best streak in the major leagues with 25 consecutive quality starts is mad when he gives up a single run. Absolutely love Brian Wu. Also, you get a nice contribution from Rob Refsnyder. If you start the season to go on an 0-18 slump, what is your recipe to get out of said slump? Apparently have a baby? He took paternity leave. His wife has, I believe, their 3rd child. First pitch he sees coming back is a solo shot. Love that for their new platoon hitter, Rob Refsnyder. If you don't know who Refsnyder is, I'm just going to give you his numbers. 2022 to 2025. Here's his slash line against left-handed pitching. Hitting .312, .407, .516 against lefties. How's that for being dominant against, pitchers throwing from the left side? You'd love to see it work as well both ways, but they brought him in specifically to be somebody to hit lefties.
The Buzz.
Speaking of lefty for the Mariners, we'll take a quick trip down to the minors at Double-A Tulsa. Cade Anderson got his 3rd start. How's he doing through 3 starts, you ask? How would I tell you? How's 22 strikeouts in 14 innings and a league best 41.5% strikeout rate? His ERA is sitting at 0.64. That's not too bad for the 3rd overall pick from the 2025 draft, who skipped the minors last season after having a long college baseball season. It's been a while. We talked with Gary Hill Jr. on Friday. He was trying to recall the last time there was a lefty in the starting rotation for the Seattle Mariners, and he said James Paxton. I didn't check to see if that was accurate, but it has certainly been a while. But their new lefty prospect is looking really good through just a few starts in Double-A.
The Buzz.
Hey, let's move down to 49ers signed a deal with Trent Williams, 2 years, $50 million. A 37-year-old left tackle will be most likely with the 49ers for the remainder of his career. Colts signed a big deal this offseason with a young man named Alec Pierce. He will not be available for a little while after undergoing an ankle surgery to clean up a nagging issue. He will miss offseason workouts, but should be ready to go for the start of the season. Cowboys make Brandon Aubrey the highest paid kicker in NFL history, $7 million per season, 28 over 4 years with $20 million guaranteed. Not too bad for a guy that was a software engineer, then an MLS player, and now an NFL kicker. People should start, I guess, navigating through software engineers, the MLS, or just assume that this is a one-off story that's pretty damn good.
Dust off the kicking boots.
This always feels like a no-brainer, but since the Cowboys did it, am I the only one that thinks that they somehow probably made the wrong decision?
I love it how they chose to pay their kicker before they paid Micah Parsons.
Seems insane to me, but what are you going to do? Giants trade Dexter Lawrence for the 10th overall pick in this draft to the Bengals. I can't figure out what's going on here. If it's the Bengals actually trying to get defense on their team after letting Trey Hendrickson walk, and now they're trying to add a tackle, giving up their first-round pick. Is this a bad draft? Is this a bad move? I'll tell you, Cincinnati Bengals give me very little confidence as well. There are also reports emerging that A.J. Brown will be traded to the New England Patriots when they get to June 1st. That will avoid them having $40 million in dead cap money if they were to make the trade right now. Odell Beckham Jr. is working out for the Giants. Jimmy Garoppolo might retire. And in Nashville, apparently there was a truck that overturned on the ramp in Tennessee, causing 1 million bees to be released into traffic. They're telling people not to get out of their cars unless they had protective gear. That, to me, is insane. We got to catch up, so let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Casey, tell me what we missed.
This SportsCenter update is brought to you by A&E Plumbing, Heating, and Air, serving Portland, Southwest Washington, and the Gorge. Online at aneheatingandcooling.com. It's hard to stop a train.
How was traffic, honey? Well, that was pretty good until 1 million bees were released when a truck overturned.
Yeah, just 1,000 stingers later.
Jeez. No
First on the fan, Ian Rappaport reports that the Steelers have not received word from Aaron Rodgers on his future, and there is no expectation of a final decision prior to the NFL draft. John Gruden has now tweeted,
Oh, good.
"Let's go, Will. Show him what you got."
All right.
It is officially the Will Howard era, and I am all here for it.
So you do not have in your mock draft the Steelers taking a quarterback at the 21st overall pick. Ty Simpson is not the future.
I have them taking a quarterback in the 7th round
Oh, there you go.
at Talon Green from Arkansas,
Okay.
if he's around.
All right.
Otherwise, not touching a quarterback.
If Aaron Rodgers calls in August and says, "Hey, you guys ready for me?" Do the Steelers have the huevos to go, "Thanks, but no thanks"?
Yes, because Mike McCarthy is now your head coach.
All right. Maybe that's the reason they got him. We need somebody that can say no to Aaron.
We need someone that
Hey.
can say no.
Then maybe it is a good hire.
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and spray.
Here's who's left on the West Coast. Because originally, when the A's were still in Oakland, you had the Bay Series, right? So that's Northern California. Then you have Angels, Dodgers, are both in LA. And so then you look up and down the coast and you go, well, you two are kind of the teams that are left over. And that's what you end up with, which I'm not mad about. The Vetter Cup has turned into the biggest rivalry in sports, as you know. But the reason I ask is I'm having a hard time on the internet finding the longest head-to-head losing streaks. I don't know if you saw this little nugget, but apparently the Timberwolves just beat the Celtics for the first time since 2005.
That was a clip from about a month ago, almost
boy.
exactly a month ago today.
All right.
The Vetter Cup was the best rivalry in sports. There's a lot to unpack here. I'm going to
Whoa,
try to go one by one.
whoa.
I know you're being facetious,
Okay,
but
thank you.
what is Seattle's best rivalry?
Well, unfortunately, somehow it has gotten to the point where you have only professional basketball here in the beautiful Rose City, and in Seattle you have everything but men's professional basketball. You've got a good rivalry in soccer as I understand it. I have not been thrown into the Sounders Timbers. I know you're a big Sounders fan, but that is apparently a great rivalry. I've been to plenty of Thunderbirds and Winterhawks games. That is a great rivalry. You put two of the big four teams in Portland and Seattle, I think that automatically becomes a rivalry. Having the Sonics and the Blazers will be great. And it can be one of those ones where very much like you get in college sports where you get the I hate this team regardless of anything fans, and you get that I hate this team unless they're playing my team, only when they're playing my team situation where you're a fan of the Northwest teams and root for the Sonics if the Blazers are out, root for the Blazers if the Sonics are out. That's when you know you have a good rivalry, when there is players on or fans on both sides where they hate any player that's ever been there. They don't even want them to be traded and won't like them unless they're in your uniform. I think that is the biggest thing missing, is the fact that we don't have Portland, Seattle in at least a couple. I saw something today. It was very, very sad, and it said that baseball expansion is expected to be done between 27 and 29 before Rob Manfred's next contract is up. But it said the favorite cities to get it listed both Vancouver and Salt Lake ahead of Portland. I don't know.
That's a punch to the gut.
That very much. Listen. I don't know if they just chose an order to put those in, or if that's the way that people actually see it now. But we have not heard a lot of news about Portland being the destination for it. But to me, that would be the best. There is no better place to be in the summer than the Pacific Northwest, and having a Northwest baseball rivalry would be all time.
You also talked about what the longest active head-to-head matchup losing streak was.
Did you find it?
I couldn't find it, but I did find the longest active losing streak in all of sports right now. Columbia High School in Alabama has set a national record for the longest high school football losing streak, reaching 100 consecutive games. You want to know who their head coach is?
Sure.
Former Pittsburgh Steeler, Sammy Coates.
That a boy. He has not been the head coach for that entire run, I hope.
No.
Okay.
Not the entire run. But yeah, 100 consecutive games.
What's his overall record? I don't need it. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, their last win was in 2015.
Oof. That hurts. He was getting to 40 home runs with like 41 RBI. He was hitting solo shot after solo shot after solo shot. You know who is in the top 25 in the league and leading his team in RBI right now? It's Cal Raleigh. It's 2 for 2 today. I haven't seen any. I don't think they're home runs. I've only been half watching it because I was getting ready for the show. But right now, Cal Raleigh, I think, has 1 home run, has been robbed for another. 10 RBI. I'm pretty happy with that. If this is what the Mariners are going to be this season, which is moving runners around the base paths, everybody contributing, the bottom half of their lineup contributing, Cole Young being one of their best hitters, I am here for it. It is fantastic. This summer is going to be an absolute blast, and they've already fixed the Ichiro statue. If anybody's wondering, his bat is now erect, and it's very important.
Luke, do you know who is not in the top 25 in RBIs this season and no longer leads his team in RBIs?
Oh yeah, it's Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, it's Cal Raleigh.
But you know who is and it's not the top 25. You know who's leading the team in RBI right now?
Is it Rayleigh?
It's Luke Raley. I will take a little 2-game win streak because the offense has not gotten going for the Mariners. And that is one of those things that you would expect. You have so much data on all of these guys. Josh Naylor, Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez. If they can start hitting, Luke Raley has been great. Brendan Donovan's got a hip thing right now, and he's out, but he's hitting over 300. At least I believe he was when I last checked. But you've got some guys that are hitting in there, but it is
304.
See, there you go. And so it is not your big three. But I'll tell you, their pitching staff has looked really good. I believe they're top 5 in ERA. I think they're right up there in WHIP. It's something that will balance out. It is historically hard to hit in Seattle early in the season because you get the Marine Layer and all the excuses that you can make. It is not a ballpark that is super friendly to it. As the temperatures warm up, hopefully baseball start flying out of there. 3 home runs yesterday. So it wasn't your big three. It was Ref Snyder, Raley hit one, and I can't remember what the third was. But it was not one of your big bats. So I will take it if you're winning with home runs. But we haven't seen it yet, and I'm okay with that. Look at you hustling.
It was JP.
Oh, JP. There you go.
Yeah, it was JP, Ref Snyder, and Randy Rosarena.
Oh, Rosarena got one. Okay. Well, hey, Randy has looked really good. Maybe you should always have at least a couple guys that are in contract years, because if we get this all year from Randy Rosarena and everybody else catches up, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about things turning around pretty quickly. Not a ton of injuries, certainly nothing that feels like it's long-term right now with the Mariners knock on something somewhere. But yeah, hey, Cal was hitting in big spots early. We still need to get it going. On the other side, people are getting a lot of hype about your Charlotte Hornets.
Yes, sir.
Con Knipple, the soon-to-be Rookie of the Year over his fellow classmate from the freshman class at Duke University, is going to be leading the Hornets, and people are really starting to like what they've got going on. For a long time, the Hornets have been kind of dormant, but man, I'll tell you, you get the right guy in the draft and you have somebody that goes out and leads the NBA in three-point shooting, it sure does change your perspective of what they've got going on.
Well, Con Knipple didn't really shoot the ball all too well.
No!
And my Charlotte Hornets, they're not playing any more games this season.
Well, you know what? They might be taking a little break, but I'm sure they're already in the gym out there practicing. If I know what to expect from a team led by LaMelo Ball, I think it is work, and just keep your nose to the grindstone. I think they'll be out there trying perfectly hard. There was a montage of all of the dumbest plays by LaMelo Ball, or what was it titled? It was something to the effect of LaMelo does what LaMelo wants to do, but it's just arrogant, dismissive, ridiculous behavior by LaMelo Ball. If you have a chance to find that, that is
10 minutes of LaMelo Ball being ridiculous.
Yeah, that I'm sure there's more than one out there, but if you get a chance to watch, that he is ridiculous is a perfect word. That guy is something else, and not in a watch out world kind of way. It's like, watch out world. This guy grew up as a TikTok sensation or whatever the platform was at the time. I mean, he was
YouTube sensation.
Either way, but he was clip after clip after clip of him, and his brothers going out there, and the fact that Jello thinks he can just walk into the NBA. Who needs a score? I don't think it's that easy, dude.
I think we're good, pal.
Yeah, I think we're all right. We'll call you, but I appreciate the effort. We got anything else we need to get to?
I got one more.
All right, let's do it. Have you seen this? Are you aware
I
of
have
what
not.
this is?
How close is this to ESPN The Body?
Oh, no. You're thinking of it in the wrong way. What this is breaking down all of your NBA teams, what they've accomplished to this point, and who actually fits the mold of an NBA champion.
Okay.
So these are the teams that have done enough, shown enough. So basically they go back through the last 25 champions and go, are you actually good enough to be a champion? Every modern champion except the 2006 Heat have a winning record against winning teams. If you take all of that into account, there are only 6 teams that come. The Thunder, the Spurs, the Pistons, the Celtics, the Knicks, and just on the outliers, your Nuggets and Cavs. So I'm giving them each half a point. That's it. Blazers are out. I'm sorry. Hornets are out.
Well, I know my Hornets are out.
This was before the Hornets were out. So
But who's your NBA champion based off of just one game of NBA playoffs?
just one game, quick sample size. The defense that they play in Oklahoma City and the way they are just so pesky, and it feels like everybody on that roster has matured. I know that they won the championship last year, but the amount of confidence that you see in that team going out there, whoever the balls ends up in their hands for a big shot, feels like they're going to make it. Just the way that they swarm on defense and just are so difficult to play against because I don't know where the weak spot is on that team. I mean, it felt like the Spurs have a superstar in Wemby. They're not playing against a very good team. I would love to see the Blazers have. I want to see what happens in one game at least in this series where it comes down to a final shot and see if they're up for it. That's my expectation for this. I would love to see the next 3 games be great, but I just want to see what the Blazers can do in a big pressure moment. We saw it against the Suns in the play-in, and they look good.
Put some real pressure on them.
Put some pressure on the Spurs. I want to see what Wemby does in the big moment. I want to see what Scoot
Denny
does.
Shaden and Scoot.
Sure, pick your guy. I kind of want to see what Jeremy Grant does after last night. He looked terrible. I want to see what he does in a big moment. But this is what I want to see, whether it's Stephon Castle or if it's Dylan Harper or. There's plenty of guys that to me are intriguing. I don't know if the Spurs are ready yet. It's hard not to pick OKC after one game. That's what we got. Hey, let's do one more for the road. Today we've got for you one of the dumber crimes. And it's shocking that it didn't work. But what do you pay for kind of just being an idiot as a criminal? We will tell you that. Next, it is Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network. We got a bonus hour tomorrow. Casey's working on his full NFL mock draft. If you missed anything from this show, podcast at 1051thefan.com, odyssey.com, the Odyssey app. Anything we need to address from the fan text line or the chat, young lowercase.
Not that I'm seeing.
No worries. Maybe one of my favorite videos ever. Did you ever see the video of the group of fraudsters that tried to dress up like a bear to rip up some luxury cars? 3 people sentenced in California for insurance fraud. They will pay over $50,000 in restitution. They dressed up in a bear costume, went in with fake claws, and tried to rip up a Rolls Royce and other luxury cars. Tried to claim $142,000 in damages. And weird, it didn't work. Wildlife expert says that is clearly a human in a costume. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Casey Smith. Of course, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.